it's so nice to meet you,
So nice to meet you too.
Jordan. I am Alina, and I am a correspondent from the Buckeye Review, which is a hometown newspaper that was actually just purchased by one of my good college friends. And so I'm excited because I'm a huge fan. I'm a gymnastics mom, and so I'm getting major cool mom points today for being here.
I love that. I love that.
Yes. So, it's really exciting to see you partnering with Bath and Body Works for their iconic candle sale. So, what drew you to this campaign, and how do you feel about kicking it off in such a iconic way in Manhattan, one of my favorite cities?
Well, Bath and Body Works has been with me throughout my whole entire, basically my whole life since I remember. My favorite has always been able to walk into the house and my mom had, the limoncello Bath and Body Works candle that would always be, the flamed up and all this and the scents and the smells. So I've been with Bath and Body Works and loved it ever since that time frame. And knowing that they are very, authentic to what their branding is and, really taking the feedback on what a lot of people say and how they've really progressed in a lot of their products and stuff. I'm the same way, right? Authenticity is something that I really, vibe with and want everybody to understand that no matter what brand or partnership I'm with, I'm always going to be my true self. And that's what I feel with, Bath and Body Works. They're their true selves. And to know that I get to be a part of something so huge, this is like, their Black Friday. This is like
Right.
a Super Bowl. It's like if Beyonce came in walking down the New York and, you see her in Manhattan. Like this is a really huge thing for them. So being able to
Yeah.
be a part of that, I think is really cool. And I'm really honored in having Bath and Body Works as something that I used to grow up with. And this sale is not just, oh, I'm going to go get two candles and no, this is like a worldwide sale for everybody. They're 9.95, 3 wick candles, I believe, especially from Bath and Body Works, are so good. Like I love it so like they're just the best candles that have ever been invented. And plus during the holiday seasons you get different scents. Like if you don't want to bake that day, you can go get a candle. If you don't feel like
Right.
putting up a tree, you can go get a candle for that. Like I think it's just really cool how they have this ability to expand and to be in a broader area.
Yeah, absolutely. My mom always does the candle shopping for us. So I'm like, be ready because I need my house smelling good. But with that being said, a lot of us use the candles to really wind down during the holidays. But I know that for gymnasts in particular, this is when y'all are really starting to ramp up your seasons. Competition season is kicking off in January. So, how do you integrate like self-care, maybe even with your candle routine during this busy season?
A majority of the time, as athletes, just in general, it's really kind of hard to put yourself in a quote unquote self care regimen all the time. Yes, we can do
Right.
things for our body and, obviously our hair and our face, but having a constant one, it's kind of hard. So, knowing that I can kind of implement different regimens throughout my lifetime, I've gone through different skin cares, I've gone through different, hair cares, I've gone through different body cares. But finding that the best thing I think my favorite part is being able just to sit in a bathtub and you can watch Netflix, light a candle, and just have like that Zen time to yourself without thinking of anything. Just being able to, and if you are thinking of stuff, just like what the future holds and all this stuff, and kind of getting your life back in a good mindset so you can go into your next day in a better, mindset. Those are typically what I do. A majority of the time, I think it's like being with family and friends and the support system that you have around you can kind of help as well. You don't gotta talk about X, Y, and Z. You don't have to do all those things. So, that's kind of how I implement like the self care into what I do. I'm constantly on the go, so it's really hard to put myself just in one spot and be like, okay, today I'm gonna take
Right.
time to myself. I try
And
to
you're
at
not.
least I try to at least take like 30 to an hour, or even an hour and a half of the day to myself just to make sure I'm mentally okay and like not too overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I honestly was like, when does Jordan have time to burn these candles? Because you are on the go. And
Yeah.
honestly, even as a gymnastics mom, that's something that you hear all the time. It's like, it's hard for gymnasts to find a life outside of the gym. But, I have seen you outside recently, US Open with the Rockettes the other day. And so I really love how you have started to, branch out and really build your brand. And so can you talk to me a little bit about, how you have been able to kind of build, your identity beyond gymnastics lately?
So, a majority on the reason why I can do what I do is I learned that you can be able to separate your two lives as an athlete. I know it may be hard. I know a lot of people grew up knowing that, it's sports, 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 right? Or, music, 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 music. You're becoming a doctor. You're doing this, doing that. But there are different things within yourself that you can branch out and find, right? I found out I have a creative side. I found out that fashion is really something that I deeply love. I found out that I can enjoy being able to be myself, the Jordan that, as a little kid had dreams of doing. And being
Mhm.
able to branch out in those ways and kind of show the younger generation that you can have multiple dreams and you can have the ability to put yourself in, different shoes and be like, I'm going to try this out. It's okay to fail because that just means that you're learning
Mhm.
yourself. You don't have to be scared to fail at something because at the end of it, you're learning from that and you're going to win from it. So, just being able to, enjoy these moments. These are opportunities. That's what I see it as. They're opportunities that I get to say, yes, I was with the Rockettes. Yes, I was, I'm an SI swimsuit model. Yes, I got to go to the VMAs and do this, that, and the other. Those are opportunities that I get to say I got to enjoy because of the accomplishments that I did within myself, not just as a
Mhm.
human, but also in my sport. So, branching out is definitely, yes, it's my brand. I'm named after the one of the greatest basketball players, right? Michael
Oh,
Jordan.
you're named after him? I
I'm named,
never knew that.
yes, I'm named after the greatest basketball player, Michael Jordan. Out of all the things that he did within his life, he branched
Hmm.
out. Who would have
Yeah.
thought that he would have, gone and did baseball? No one.
Hmm.
Thought he would have went and did golf. No one. But he knew within himself that he had the ability and the talent to go do different things and that basketball wasn't just his life. So that's how I
Right.
see it. And it's really cool that people see it too because it is hard not knowing what you're doing because you can't see yourself. Like I can't just come out of my body. I don't have that power to come out of my body and be like, "Oh, what is Jordan doing today?" It doesn't work like that. But to know that
Mhm.
people do see that, it is very comforting and it's very, I love it and I just appreciate everybody understanding that yes, I do have a different life. I'm human. I can
Mhm.
I can go to, I can go to a Halloween party. I can go to
Mhm.
a Christmas party. I can do these things because that's just I'm still human, but I also can go on the mat and, win medals and do all these things. So I like to separate the two and just try to enjoy both as best as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see you and we share you. I'm always sharing your nails. I'm a nails girly too. And so even just the artistry of the nails, the Leos, I just think that it really speaks to, like you said, being able to represent the artist that you are, the creative that you are in all of these different elements. We did have the opportunity, me and my daughter, she goes by Lily, her name is Alicia. But we did have an opportunity to go to a Gold Over America tour. And I remember you saying that everything that you do is for the next generation. And you actually just mentioned that as well. And so, when you think about that, how are you approaching that responsibility, especially given the history of the sport? But also even as Black women having to really represent in this sport and in this country, what do you do to really protect that space for them?
There's a lot of things that I do, whether it's within your sport or not, but I didn't learn that until Simone came around. She taught me what it's like to be that person in your sport and that person outside of your sport, right? Again, we do have two different lives. So for the generation that's within my sport, it's like I've gone through a lot of racial things throughout my life. I got my
Mhm.
hair cut off by, I got my braids cut by my own coach. I've
Mhm.
gotten things that have happened to me that I don't want to happen to the younger generation. So I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to come out with crazy hairstyles. I'm going to be the only person really who has a whole arm sleeve of tattoos. So I like to take those things and really embrace the fact that it's okay to be the person you are and change the culture or the game of that sport or that thing that you're trying to do, right? And
Mhm.
especially being a woman of color, I was the only at my old gym, I was the only black girl
Mhm.
for a very long time until I moved to Texas. And knowing that I was the only black girl, everything that I did was on the white prominent side. Like a lot of the things I wanted my hair straight all the time. I didn't get my nails done. I didn't embrace who I was. So realizing those things, I was like, if I'm trying to become this public figure or if I'm trying to make this brand, how can I fix those things so the younger generation can walk into a gym and be like, okay, this is who I am. If you're not going to accept that, then I'm just going to move on and go to a different
Mm-hmm.
place or a different career or a different path. And so I had to fix that within myself. So now what I do is make sure the things that I am applying myself to, the things that I am being sponsored by, the things that I am are very authentic. I Authenticity is something that I deeply, deeply support. If you think that I put on a face somewhere on social media or something like that, you're going to get that same person because it's the same person that's on social media and the same person that you meet in person. So
Mm-hmm.
I just try to figure out how to make sure that the younger generation understands that in any moment in time that you come and you doubt yourself, try to look at your mentors. Try to look at what they did to be like, okay, this is what they did. How can I fix it in my way, right? Because you say you want to be the next so and so, but try to be the next so and so in your path. I
Mm-hmm.
can't be the next Simone Biles. There's no way. I But I
Mm-hmm.
can be the next Jordan Chiles and try to figure out the things that she was capable of doing and figure it out in my own way.
Mm-hmm.
So those are like the things that I try to kind of pursue and like not persuade, but try to mentor. I want you to understand the financial side. I want you
Mm-hmm.
to understand that it's okay to go to college. I want you to understand that if you know your first generation doing this or that, it's okay. Embrace that. Show your family or your parents that, you know what, I am doing this for myself and I want to be grounded in that and be happy. So that's what I do. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
authentic, everything is true to myself and making sure that, you know, those little girls, I'm just like that saying, right? Where they say that you walk so everybody can run. And then if that
Mm-hmm.
person's running, those people can sprint. That's how I see it. I had people before me, right? Diane Durham, I had Betty Okino, I had all those people who who walked for me so then I could run. And so now I'm going to run for you so you can sprint and be okay with everything that you're doing within your life. I just don't want anybody to doubt themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Well, we appreciate you so much. I'm excited to see the kickoff in the city with you running with those candles. It's going to be so fun. I'm excited to take advantage of that sale. And so I appreciate your time. And thank you for this wonderful interview.
No, thank you so much for having me. This was fun.